Important to make sure that we crack down on those smugglers who prey upon the desperation of innocent people, to ensure that no other new routes of illegal migration are open towards Europe, but also to make sure that we offer legal pathways to migration for young Egyptians seeking work in the European Union. We have worked very closely with Egypt in terms of our bilateral partnership. We have welcomed over many decades Egyptians who are keen to work in Greece, and I think that our partnership can serve as a role model of what we can achieve together as a result of this new comprehensive strategic partnership. Finally, on the issue related to Gaza, let me also share our deep concern about the humanitarian situation. Let me reiterate our call for an immediate ceasefire and the release of all the hostages, and let me also very much support what President El-Sisi said, that we cannot accept under any circumstance any forced displacement of Palestinian people into Egypt, and we recognize Egypt's profound security concerns when it comes to this issue. And I would hope that we can work together, the European Union and Egypt, in terms of exploring possibilities of how we can work again towards what is the only realistic long-term political solution to the Palestinian tragedy, and that is, of course, a two-state solution. So again, Mr. President, it's a great pleasure to be here, and it's also a great pleasure to be accompanied by the President of the Commission, my distinguished colleagues at the European Council, and I think the presence of so many of us here today is testimony to the particular value we attach to this strategic partnership.
Thank you, the Prime Minister of Greece, and I would like to invite the Chancellor of Austria to deliver his speech.
Excellency, dear Mr. President, thank you once again for your outstanding hospitality and for receiving all of us, friends of Egypt, here in Cairo today. Egypt has been a crucial partner for Europe in so many areas. I'm glad that we will now elevate this cooperation to a new level now. When I visited you in Cairo last April, we discussed the necessity of a mutually beneficial cooperation agreement, both for Egypt and for the EU. This has been high on Austria's political agenda already since our EU presidency in 2018. You maybe remember to your talks to Sebastian Kurz as a Chancellor. I dare say that with today's agreement on a comprehensive and strategic partnership between Egypt and the EU, we have managed to create a win-win situation for both sides. I want to thank you, Mr. President El-Sisi, and you, Madam President, von der Leyen, for your leadership on this matter. I would also like to reiterate my gratitude to you, Mr. President El-Sisi, for all of Egypt's efforts in hosting so many refugees and for making sure that no smuggling boats with illegal migrants have left Egypt since 2016. When implementing this comprehensive partnership, it will be crucial not only to focus on the important topic of migration and mobility for skilled workers, but also to insist on opportunities for enhanced cooperation in the fields of investments, green hydrogen, and technology. And now to the war in Israel and Gaza. I would like to reiterate my gratitude to President El-Sisi for your assistance and for all of your efforts with regard to the situation in Gaza, including on the evacuation of EU citizens from Gaza through Egypt. Egypt is a crucial partner for the provision of much-needed humanitarian aid to Gaza. As discussed, we acknowledge Israel's right to self-defense in accordance with international law after Hamas' brutal terrorist attack against Israel on 7th of October. At the same time, we are deeply concerned about the humanitarian situation in Gaza. and the high numbers of civilian casualties, more has to be done to protect civilians. We had hoped for a humanitarian pause and the release of hostages before Ramadan. The release of all hostages remains our top priority. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Thank you, Chancellor of Austria, for the speech, and I would like to invite the Prime Minister of Italy.
President Sisi, dear colleagues, it is an historical day for the relations between Egypt and EU. I want to thank for this the work that Ursula von der Leyen did. I want to thank my colleagues, and I want to say that I'm proud of the role that Italy played to achieve this goal. The comprehensive and strategic partnership between EU and Egypt is particularly precious in the current context, in which we face many crises that can destabilize the Mediterranean region, with consequences that we cannot even completely imagine. Those consequences call, moreover, the European Union to strengthen the relations with its southern neighbors in order to address the common challenges we have, such as food and water security, energy security, development, migration. So today's joint declaration and this initiative altogether, in my opinion, shows clearly our willing to promote a new and more structured way of cooperation between the two shores of the Mediterranean. And in this shore of the Mediterranean, the role that Egypt plays is a leading one. It is a new model of EU's attention to the external dimension that Italy strongly supported, that we started in Tunisia a few months ago, so a work that keeps on going on. Ursula knows very well that Italy is absolutely on her side supporting this difficult work that she is doing, so she can always count on us in this work in implementing the partnership with Egypt. I think, as all the colleagues said, that this initiative is also the best way to tackle the migration challenge, countering illegal flows and human traffickers. President Sisi, we welcome Egypt's efforts in this direction. We all want to work together even more. On one side, helping nations of origin and transit with support, investments, development, and cooperation on legal flows of migration. On the other hand, asking those countries to improve their efforts to fight traffickers and stop illegal migrants, for legal and illegal flows are incompatible. Italy intends to give a good example with its Mattei Plan for Africa, a plan of investments and development in the African continent, to which we have already destinated 5.5 billion. Egypt is one of the priorities countries for this plan that we want to concretize quickly, and I'm proud that today with Egypt we are signing some very important bilateral agreements that are part of this plan, so we are going on very concretely. We intend also to bring this model at the top of the G7 under Italian presidency. Africa development and non-predatory cooperation, migration will be one of the main topics also during the G7 Leaders Summit. And one of the things that we want to launch is a global alliance against traffickers. Clearly, this work is very, very precious also due to the very complex international situation that we are facing. Crisis in Gaza is, of course, at the top of our concerns. Italy calls for a lasting pause in the hostilities, leading to a sustainable ceasefire and humanitarian corridors to guarantee humanitarian assistance and release of hostages. We strongly support the ongoing mediation efforts undertaken also by Egypt with other countries. Italy, from the beginning of the conflict, has played an active role in providing humanitarian assistance for the people of Gaza. Now we intend to focus on food security, but it is also imperative to resume a political dialogue aimed at achieving a two-state solution. For dear colleagues, dear President El-Sisi, difficult times need courageous decisions. So thank you everyone for this important work and for the work that we will keep doing together.
Thank you, the European leaders, for your speeches that reflect the deep Egyptian-European relations and reflect the realization of the important role played by Egypt in different fields of cooperation. Let me invite now to adjourn the opening session and invite the journalists and media to leave the room so that we can start our closed session.